All right, so I'm just sitting here eating breakfast, and I know a large percentage of people said that they would like me to incorporate more comedy style videos of just stories of my life. And honestly, I have no problem doing that. I could talk all day about shit. And I wanted to brainstorm, and I was like, shit, like anytime I do something that's kind of funny, it ends up being something to do with a funny, like, sex experience I had. But this one does have to do with dating, but it is along the line, it's basically a clean conversation. So it doesn't seem like it's one note. So this is the worst date I've ever had, but in a sense, it's also the best. And ironically, it was my first adult date. And it basically paved the way for how I dated going forward. So, number one, I went on a date with this girl, just a casual little meetup, 45 minutes late. She, not me, which already pissed me off, but because it was my first date, like, you kind of let things like that slide in the beginning, which is a mistake. I don't suggest any man or woman let that happen. And I had a decent time with her and whatever. Like, it wasn't thrilling, but then again, it was the first date I'd ever been on. So I'm like, let me give this a chance, right? So I met up with her a second time. And already I'm thinking to myself, I didn't really super enjoy the first time. Like, she basically ordered endless amount of things, said she didn't like something, so then ordered something again. And then when the bill was brought, didn't even bat an eye if we wanted to split, which that's red flag number one for me. You know what? If you're going to offer and hope I say no, that's one thing. At least you offered. But if you're going to just make an assumption, that ticks me off. You know, back in the day when women didn't have jobs and it was the men's responsibility to court all the time, that's one thing. But nowadays, where you have your own money and you still think like you're this princess and just automatically make an assumption that you think you're like Kim Kardashian or one of the celebrities you look up to, that annoys me. So the second date, I've already in my mind, I'm like, whether I enjoy this date or not, this is my last time seeing her. And I'm moving on to better things. And I'm like, because I was a horny fuck, I was like, you know what? And if I sleep with her, fine. Which, looking back, toxic as hell. I should not have been thinking like that. I don't think like that, and I don't suggest any young men think like that. It sets you off for a path. Just not a nice path. So then I meet up with her. I already had dinner. We were supposed to just go somewhere small. And she looks up this sushi place, and I was hoping it was a la carte. And I love sushi. Anyone that knows me would know this. I was hoping it was a la carte. Once again, she was a decent chunk late, which already at that point I'm like, I almost think I should just go home and not talk to her again. But I'm not a coward. So we go to the restaurant. Lo and behold, it's all you can eat. So I'm already spending much more than I wanted to, and I wasn't getting my money's worth because I was kind of full from dinner. And the conversations, I don't even remember the conversations we had. It was just like a nothing date. It was fine, whatever. Then the bill comes, and this is the moment I've been waiting for. Waitress says, separate checks or together? And I said separate. And I was about to turn back to her and just continue the conversation we were having. Her whole demeanor changed. She wasn't talking with a bubbly voice anymore. Her posture changed. She was so mad. She's like, you're not going to pay for my dinner? And I'm like, well, no. I said I wanted to go somewhere small. You brought me to a sit-down restaurant. And then you assumed I'm going to pay. I said, you were 45 minutes late last time. You were 20 minutes late this time. Why would I go? Why would I pay? Why would I pay for this meal that I did not want? This was your idea. So technically, you should be paying for yourself. And I felt like all those comments were a little bit loaded because they were, because I went into this date knowing that I was not seeing this woman again. I shouldn't have even went in hindsight. But then she was going on and on. She's like, I can't believe you threw me under the bus like this. Like, this is just ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. She kept saying, throw me under the bus, which I didn't. And she kept saying it, and I go, okay, can you stop saying that? Because you're not using that phrase correctly, and it started to annoy me. And then as we're walking back to the car, which I can't believe I drove her home. I can't believe I did that. I should have left her fucking there. And she said, like, do you like expensive cars or some nonsense like that? And I'm like, not really. I just something with 4 wheels in good condition gets me from point A to point B. It's fine. She's like, yeah, I want a Mercedes when I'm older. And I'm like, you have to pay for it, right? And you can tell she heard me. She gave me this glare. It was not me, this glare, but her facial expression gave off the fact that she was like livid hearing that. And she kept saying over and over again in the car, like, yeah, my brother says I have a problem and I shouldn't think this way, but I can't believe you threw me under the bus like this. And then I'm like, your brother sounds like a pretty smart guy. I should meet him one day. And why I say this was one of the worst dates I have, but the best, is because going forward, that became a test for me. I wanted to see how upset going forward a woman would get if I did not offer to pay for them. And I've done it countless times where I see if they are willing to pay for themselves. And that to me is a good sign, and then I will then cover the bill. But if they get mad like this one did and rant and rave and act like I just murdered their family in front of them, like how dare I not pay for little princess, then I know that's a red flag and I want nothing to do with this woman. Now, someone might look at me and go, oh, but you're not going to get far dating like that. How do you think I got my fucking wife? Okay? Our first date, we went to a diner that only accepts cash, and I told her before going there, we won't bring cash because that's the only thing they accept. And she told me this like years later that she almost didn't come because she was so offended by that. And one of her friends said, listen, you said you already met this guy once. Now this is going to be your first official date. You said you really liked him. Why are you going to let something like that ruin what could be a great relationship? And that's just how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, stop having these little hangups. If someone or something, and I could even break this down and connect this to working out, if something is offering you 80% of what you want or need, such as a workout program, if it's working, don't change it. If you are getting mostly positive vibes and positive results from the program or person, don't get hung up on the little things. The little things are what are going to kill you. The little things don't matter. Okay? So, like I said, that's live and learn, adapt, improvise, overcome. Man, I'm just too smart. I know this video actually wasn't funny. This was more of like a teachable moment from one of the sharpest minds in the brain. In the game, sharpest minds, all right. So I hope you like this video. I will brainstorm a bunch of stories from teaching alone. I can talk for maybe an hour about one particular story. And that would be it. So I hope you like this video. And as always, have yourself a great day, ladies and gentlemen.